And big night, 5 for 7 on threes and 9 for 12 from the field. That'll work, won't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, just happy I was able to score the ball.
Ian, you're really known for your defensive prowess, but it seemed like you were absolutely everywhere, whether it's defensive, offensive. What allowed you to have a career high in points tonight? And then on the defensive side, I mean, you were everywhere. So what is your defensive mentality as well?
On the offensive side, my team did a really good job tonight just moving the ball. We had, I think, 20 assists, only 10 turnovers. So we was able to get the defense moving, and, I was just the one that was able to be open and take the shots. And on defense, I just want to make it difficult for everyone, like especially the best player on a different team. He had – how many did he have? 27, played 40 minutes. He didn't even get the ball that much at the end of the game. My job was to not deny him. So, it's just locking in and trying to win that battle on defense.
Ian, can you talk about the first half with the tempo, and were you guys kind of caught off guard with their tempo? Because I don't think that they were stopping. You guys had to kind of roll with them.
Yeah. In the first half, I felt like they was sort of just getting whatever they wanted, pushing the ball in transition. That's something we work on a lot. So it was just us at fault, honestly. But I don't think they did anything that should have messed us up as bad as it did.
And then you went on that kind of 13-point tear, I guess, I think it was under 8 minutes to go. What was going on there? What were you able to do to kind of keep momentum on Miami's side?
Once again, I was just the one that was getting open, and my shot was falling early, so I had the confidence to keep shooting the ball. And, my teammates kept feeding me.
Ian, Suter and Kraft combined for 31 points, and obviously you had 24 as well. How does having these other scorers on the floor kind of open up your offensive game plan?
I think teams key in on Pete and Cam a lot more than me. So I just attack whoever. They never put their best defender on me. So, I'm just going to make the most of that.
This is probably as dynamic a player as you've had to match up with defensively all year. And Casey Shaw, just kind of describe what that was like. I mean, he's a guy that scored 25 points a night so far to this point in the year. And I know he had 27 today, but you talked a little bit about keeping the ball out of his hands late.
All credit to him. Like, he's a great scorer. Like, he gets to a spot, he draws fouls. But, just keeping the ball out of his hands and making the rest of them make plays, that was the biggest key late game. He was the one keeping them in the game most of it. So being able to do that, and then that's it. Yeah.
Ian, did you know it was Coach's birthday today?
Yes. Yep.
You didn't want to lose,
birthday.
did you?
Nah, man. Nah, we didn't want to lose on his birthday, man.
You never want to get into totally comparing teams from one year to the next, but how does it feel to have a team this year that seems to have as much offensive potential as this one does, to go out there and feel like you can score a lot of points collectively?
It's definitely a good feeling. Coach puts all the faith in us, all the confidence in us to go out there and make plays, every single body on the team. So, and then having Cam, Pete, Luke is a freshman, great scorer on offense, facilitator too. So, like, we just play as a team on offense, and I think that's our biggest strength, just moving the ball.
Yeah, I think the positive that I took away from the game, obviously just watching it live, is I thought our guys never panicked, stayed poised the entire time. Give UMES a lot of credit. Coach Cleo's done a good job putting that team together. They make tough shots. I mean, especially there in the second half, man, they had it going. Shaw is one of the better scorers that we'll play all year. I told our guys that going into it. He's hard to defend. I thought we made a good adjustment late. He had Ian start basically top locking him everywhere he was going, denying him the ball, try to make some of his catches tough to limit his exposure. I thought that was effective late in the game, probably last 6-7 minutes of the game when we were able to stretch out the lead. But he made tough shots. Bailey made some tough shots. We got to do a better job of not fouling, keeping teams off the line, not giving up straight line drives to the rim. because I thought we did a great job guarding their actions early. Then they started saying, hey, listen, we're just going to spread you out, drive you, and try to isolate you. And they had a lot of success doing that. Basically from the 16-minute mark in the first half all the way through to probably like the last 7 minutes of the game, that's what they did. That was their offense, and they had a lot of success with it. So we got to be better on that end. I thought our offense was better tonight. You know, they mixed it up. They played some 2-3. They played some man as well. I thought our ball really moved. We obviously made a lot of threes, but you make a lot of threes when you pass the ball and when you run offense. I thought we executed versus zone and man.
Coach, how did you feel about the work on the boards? You out-rebounded them overall. You had did well in second chance points, which I know was an emphasis for this year, and points in the paint also did pretty well in there. How did you feel about the boards?
Yeah, good. You know, I think we're a little unique probably in college, but we send all 5 guys. Like Ipsaro even got in there and got a put back. It's probably his first offensive rebound in his career. You know, most people would send Evan Ipsaro back, right, because he's only 5'10", but he's got to get his nose in there. He's got to share in the responsibility of helping us on the offensive glass. So we're sending all 5 guys, which I think is a little bit unique. So hopefully we're trying to improve those numbers, which they are better. And that was big for us. You know, obviously Antoine had 5. Antoine's a load. He's always around the rim. He's big. He's strong. He's athletic. He's got great hands. We do got once we get those offensive rebounds, we got to convert. We got to finish stronger. That was the one thing that you look at the game. It's like you watch a guy like Shaw, for example, right? And listen, we had really good officials tonight, some really good ones, and they're consistent. And they came over to me and said, hey, listen, your guys are kind of shying away from that contact at the rim. It's kind of 50-50 call, but if they shy away from it, we're not going to give it to them, which is more than fair. Like, our guys got to be able to go through bodies and finish and shot fake, go into their body. And you can learn a lot from watching like a guy like Shaw, right? He draws fouls. That's what he does. I think he was 9th in the country going into the game of getting to the free throw line. He's an elite scorer. Elite scorers find their ways to the free throw line. Like, if the stat sheet's correct here, we only had 6 attempts at the line. You know, and they had 18. That's not good enough. That's one area that I really got my eye on that we got to be better at.
Coach, in your last press conference on Saturday, you described Friday as the worst practice you've had here at Miami, and then defensively on Saturday, you said, to put it politely, was poor.
Yeah.
How would you compare today's defensive effort to Saturday's efforts?
I thought they made some tough ones. You know, I did, and give them credit on that. I thought there was too many straight line drives, though. They're athletic. They're quick. I didn't think we were very good in the first half defensively. I thought it was better in the second half. But when you give teams confidence, right, it's amazing how big that rim starts to look. You know, when a guy like Bailey sees his first one go in, if it's an easier shot, well, that rim feels like it's the ocean. So the confidence level just goes up. So even if you're a guy that shoots 40, it feels like you're shooting 60% from 3, right? And you can make tough ones. And I think that's where our group's really got to mature. It's like early on, I thought we were really good with our actions. Like I said, the first 4 minutes of the game. And then I thought, like, boom, it shifted. They started isolating us and straight line driving us and really kind of getting into the paint. And we got to be better at that. You know, one of our core principles of our defense is no paint. We're a pack line defensive team. We have an identity. We got to protect that paint at all costs. And we can't allow guys just to be able to drive it in off 1 or 2 passes, or sometimes no passes. But I thought the defense was much better late, like much better. And I give, again, like I said, Ian denying, I thought was a really good move kind of late. We had to do something different because when you face a good player like that, your system kind of goes out the window late, and you just got to figure it out.
Coach, the 10 to 5 minute mark, I think Ian and Wolford kind of stepped up offensively and said, let's keep that momentum. How big was that down the stretch there?
Huge. Listen, I thought Ian played. He's been coming on since he first got here. God, dog, I never forget the first workout we had. I turned to our staff and said, fellas, you got a long ways to go. God, dog, he couldn't even chew gum and run and catch a ball. And you see where he's at, man. He's put a lot of time in, and I'm happy for him to see the success that he's having. Made some big shots, big plays, big rebounds, denying. I thought one of the best games maybe he's had in his early career here at Miami. And then Antoine, you know, he's a guy like, listen, I think we're just getting a glimpse of what he can do, to be quite frank. He's got to stay out of foul trouble, but we need him on the dang floor. I mean, dude almost has a double-double in 23 minutes. He had 14 points and 8 rebounds in 23 minutes. He's got to have that confidence. Listen, he's going to be a go-to guy. We're going to play through him in the post. He can make a shot. He can drive it. He can do a lot of different things out there on the floor. And I think it just starts with that belief that he can be that guy, because there's no reason why he can't be the best big guy in our league if he puts his mind to it.
Coach, the depth of your team was going to be a focal point coming into the season. Tonight, 8 players with points, 5 players with 9+.
Yep.
How does it feel to see that depth kind of materialize on the floor so early into the season?
Yeah, it's good. I thought, Luke had it rolling early, for example, and he looked like a freshman there kind of in the second half. Had some freshman moments defensively and turning the ball over, but Luke's going to be a special player. Brant's, I know he didn't make his threes tonight. He's going to be a special player. Believe in those guys. I see those guys every day. I know how good they're going to be. Ipsara was phenomenal off the bench, phenomenal. I thought he was a game changer. Kateki did some good things. First time we've seen Reese. Reese is a shell of himself right now, quite honestly. He didn't do anything for like 6 months. And I can't, I think it's FERPA, whatever that rule's called. I'm not a lawyer, but I can't really tell you what exactly he did. But he was out for a long time. It's just good to get his feet wet back out there. It's going to take him some time getting back, but I think he's another one of those guys that could be a consistent double-figure scorer for us. And like I said, I got all the confidence in the world in Reese moving forward as well.
You mentioned Ian doing what he did defensively late. What were maybe some of the other differences you saw late in the game that kind of let you guys finally stretch out that lead?
Yeah, I'd say starts with defensive pride. I should get challenge those dudes. That's SFLs. Listen, we could play 2-3. We could play 1-3-1 zone. You could do a 1-2-2 press. We've tried everything. At some point, you just got to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to let my guy freaking score. Right? I'm going to watch his waist. I'm going to make him earn a tough shot. I said, we got to be heavy gaps on Shaw. He's got to see bodies. He can't see arms like limbs. He needs to see a chest in front of him. 2 other guys. He needs to see all 5 sets of eyes on him the entire time. He wasn't passing. Nor should he. He scored it every dang time. He's getting fouled or he's getting a bucket. Right? So I don't blame him. He's a phenomenal player. So, you got to have 5 sets of eyes on him. You got to guard the ball. You got to deny him the ball back. You got to make things tough. Make them do something different. Right? He is the head of the snake for them. There's no doubt about it. And they do a good job giving him space to make those plays. Coach Cleo does. But I thought that was, honestly, we rebounded the ball. And then down at the other end, I thought we played slow. Played at our own pace. We didn't feel rushed. Guys made a few big shots, but we passed the ball. We had 20 assists, 10 turnovers. Going into this game, we were last in the league in assists. Last. We should be first. That's what I told those guys. It's a complete joke because we were dribbling the ball nonstop. We looked like Bob Cousy out there dribbling with our head down, just circles. We looked like a bunch of chickens with their head cut off the last 2 games. It's fellas, if we want to be great offense, because we should be able to average in the middle 80s, 85, 86 a game. I wouldn't be if we play the right way. If we execute. But now we got to get that defense, what we did the last 6 minutes, the entire game. We got to put 40 minutes together. That's what great teams do. And that's the challenge that I got for this group.
You shot the 3 ball a lot better today than you did on Saturday. Were the looks different, or was it just a matter of your guys just heating up a little bit better from 3?
Thought our guys passed it. Good shooting teams are good passing teams. Yeah, high school coach I used to have a long time ago, one of the best coaches I've ever been around, Todd Licklider, used to say that all the time. He said, good shooting teams are good passing teams. When your ball moves, good things are going to happen. When you just dribble, bad things are going to happen. It's not rocket science, So, I thought our space was good. That's the first time we've seen a lot of zone as well. And I thought our guys did a great job executing against the zone. We were giving them different looks, overloading it, ball screening it, throwing it to the high post. We gave it different looks, which I thought was good, but our guys were able to execute. Even they executed a draw up late in the game. Baseline out of bounds on the left side. Ian ended up getting that little layup. I don't know if you guys remember, kind of a little touch shot right there. I drew that up out of a timeout. That was 6 plays before in a huddle, and they were able to execute it. They paid attention. They looked at the board, and I said, hey, we're running the play because I didn't know they were going to go 2-3 baseline out of bounds. They haven't done that this year. And guess what? They did it the whole game. So we haven't practiced against that. We don't got many plays against that. It is what it is. You got to figure it out. You got to make adjustments. Our guys were able to do that on the fly, which is a great sign for us moving forward.
Coach, happy birthday.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Before you walked in, Elmer said we can't lose for Coach.
I appreciate him saying that.
What was there something going through your mind? Man, we can't lose on my birthday.
No, not really. Not really. But it doesn't even feel like my birthday. My birthday always obviously falls right in the season, so it is what it is. We'll celebrate it on an off day.